Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So today we're talking about getting the lower body loaded and ready to hit. We're going to look at Mike Trout and Javy Baez, two super successful hitters, two of the better hitters in the game. I didn't pick them for any particular reason. I just had these videos sent to me and I threw them up on Instagram a couple days ago. And I've gotten a lot of comments. And so I want to spend some time and get into some more detail on how to get the lower body loaded, why it's important, some of the keys that we talk with our hitters about. Now, when you watch these two hitters right here, you're going to see a lot of similarities with how they get the lower body loaded and ready to hit. So the first thing, when we talk about getting loaded, getting the lower body loaded, what does that mean? Because a lot of times you'll hear coaches talk a lot. They'll say, hey, get loaded, get ready to hit. And I think most players assume that getting the lower body loaded just means to get all their weight back, right? You'll hear that a lot too. Get your weight back. It's probably one of the more popular phrases when it comes to getting loaded. But when you watch major league hitters, you don't see a big shift back that way, okay? And so what do you see? Well, here are the keys that we talk about with our hitters. When I watch hitters getting loaded, really successful hitters, instead of just getting all your weight back, I see the back leg getting loaded. So not just weight back, but actually getting loaded, the back leg turning back that way. So if you watch just his back leg, the hitter's rear leg, you can see how even though the hitter is starting to move forward, notice how their back leg is getting loaded this way, right? So if you watch the back pocket of the hitter, watch this rear pocket right here, you're going to see that starting to face the pitcher, right? So here's the move right here. The back pocket goes from facing this way to then turning that way, right? When that back pocket starts to turn towards the pitcher, you're going to see the hitter's hips start to coil and close, right? So right here, his hips are in neutral. They're pointed right back at the pitcher. Here, they're now closed. They're pointed that way. So hips went from neutral to then that way. So back pocket turns like this. Hips close that way. Back leg gets loaded back this way. So they all work together. So even though the hitter's moving out, right, he's not just getting all of his weight back, like getting into a squatted position. The back leg is getting loaded that way. But it's not just getting weight back. And you'll see the same thing with Trout here. So watch Trout. One of the reasons I like putting these two guys together is because of the different views. Watch this stripe right here on Trout's leg. You're going to see how the stripe works that way, right? That's him taking the back pocket towards the pitcher. Look at his hips. Hips here, they're facing out that way. Here, now they're closed. So hips are getting coiled. Back pocket is turning. Hips are getting coiled. Leg is loading back this way. So when you go to hit, your leg's going to turn. So your leg, Trout's leg, is going to turn like that. Baez's leg is going to turn like that. So the coil of the hips and the load of the leg is going in the opposite direction. It's like if you take a top. Think about a top. just going to draw a top like this right here. Let's pretend we're looking straight down on a top that you would take and you would spin as fast as you can. If I wanted to spin this top as fast as I could in that direction, I wouldn't just take the top and just turn it like that. But what I would do, I would counter rotate the top that way, right? I would load my hand and my wrist that way, and then I would turn the top like that. So it's the same thing with the leg. If my leg is going to turn this way, well then I want to load it back that way so that I can then turn it faster. So that's the move. It's not just a weight back move. It's a coiling move. Your hips get coiled, right? Take your back pocket to the pitcher, coil your hips, and get your back leg loaded. Now, once I get that back leg loaded, now I just hold that load. I stay coiled. I keep my back leg loaded as I continue to stride forward until I want to launch the bat. So it's load, get the back leg loaded, get coiled, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then when it's time to finally launch, my leg can turn. So that's how I'm going to create the most bat speed, right? There's other things that go into it, but if you don't get your back leg loaded properly, it's going to be hard to create a whole lot of bat speed. 2, now I'm under control of my weight and my body. So my timing is going to be much better. I find that hitters that don't do a good job of this, they just kind of load their weight back and then they jump forward. Well, now they're always out on their front leg. They can't control their body. They can't control their weight. And so they're at the mercy of the pitcher. If the pitcher's the exact speed they think it's going to be, they might have a chance to hit it. But if it's not the exact speed that they think, then they're going to be out front. They're going to be late because they're not in control of their body. If you do a good job controlling your body, getting your leg loaded, well, now I can hold that load and stay coiled. And when I want to finally go, I can quickly launch. So really important to be under control of your body. The last thing is, if I do a good job of getting my back leg loaded, well then when I finally go to launch my swing, I'll be able to get my barrel in the zone deeper. If you just fall forward, you do a bad job of loading your rear leg and you just kind of jump forward and get forward, usually the swing will start to get forward. And so I'm not able to turn the barrel up into the ball early. Now, with this video, I only took the video to this point right here because this is what I wanted to show. So I don't have the full swing. But this part of the swing, right, this part, getting the back leg loaded, sets up the rest of the swing to work properly. I have to get loaded. I have to get into a good position to then be able to launch my swing properly. So if this part of the swing doesn't happen properly, the rest is probably not going to fall into line or in line. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell so you get updated every time we throw out a new video. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. We really appreciate it. And that's all we have. We'll talk to you later.